everybody, it's me, Show 360. That echo is Stephanie. I'm here to talk about chapters 11 and 12 of Shine, the book by Jessica Jung. I know. I know. I know. I'm trying, y'all. I really am trying. And I saw one bright spot in this 2 chapter run, but I'm so tired. I'm so incredibly tired. So, chapter 11 starts with Rachel practicing the dance for her dress rehearsal for the song with her, Jason, and Mina. Hello, lovely twin twin. And so she is practicing in one of the dance rooms at the company, and she keeps fucking up the lines because she keeps hearing one of the dance instructors in her head telling her how terrible she is. And oddly enough, Mina happens to be in the rehearsal room, and she's giving Rachel the eye. Not the evil eye like she normally does, or the stink eye like she normally does, but it's giving her the, oh, she's just not getting this. So Rachel is feeling bad for herself because she keeps fucking up the move, and she feels bad for herself because Mina is not fucking up the move. So they're supposed to have another rehearsal the next day, Saturday, and she shows up to the rehearsal. It's supposed to be her, Mina. It's supposed to be Rachel, Mina, and one of the dance instructors, but the dance instructor is not there. Where could they be? So Mina has, I guess, bribed the dance instructors to not be there while they practice, and she tells Rachel, "Hey girlfriend, I have an idea." And Rachel's like, "Oh really? What would that be, bitch?" And Mina goes, "All right, I deserve that one, but listen, I have a plan. I'm not great with the singing, you're not great with the dancing. What if we switch and I do the difficult steps and you do the high notes?" And Rachel actually almost responds with common sense. Like when I read what she wrote, what she said, I was like, you know what? I would be very tempted to say the exact same thing because why would I trust a bitch? So I'm going to go ahead and go to this right here. Everybody but the trainers and the execs will be pissed out of their minds when we... Okay. So, I'm sorry, I need to backtrack a little bit. So, this is the thing where Mina's like, this is what we're going to do. Because Rachel says, you drugged me and all this other shit. There. So, here's Mina outlining her plan. Mina sighs, "You're really going to make this difficult, aren't you? Listen, we both know you're struggling with some of the dance moves, and I haven't had the easiest time with certain parts of the song, so I have this idea." She crosses the room so we're standing face to face. I keep one hand on the doorknob in case she tries to pull something nasty, but when she speaks, her voice is earnest and even a little excited. "I was thinking, why don't we switch up some of our parts? Like you can sing the verse that I'm struggling with, and I'll dance the lead in the section you're struggling with. Everyone wins." Yeah, everybody but the trainers and execs will be pissed out of their minds when we go against their decision, I say. "Come on, Mina. You really think I'm gonna let you trap me in such an obvious trick? You drugged me. You tried to ruin my audition, and you sent a video of the whole thing to my mother. We both know I can't prove it, but you can't tell me you think I'm naive enough to do this. For all I know, I'll go along with it, and then you'll tell the execs I drugged you and forced you to dance my part. So just leave me alone." This is a totally reasonable reaction to what Mina's saying. Yes, Mina might be saying something that's very smart. Also, again, hard to hate Mina because Mina's obviously intelligent. She recognized what each other's weaknesses are and came up with a solution for their weaknesses. So again, how can you hate a bitch who's a problem solver? But I digress.
Period.
Just saying. So Rachel's like, "You're not going to trick me. You done already tricked me once. I'm not going to let you trick me again." But somehow or another, Mina convinces Rachel this is the move. So they practice this new revised choreography and singing schedule. So Sunday is the day because apparently nobody rests on Sundays in Korea. It's a work day. Sunday is the day that they're supposed to have their dress rehearsal with Jason of their performance of this new song that they're going to do this throuple to. So they get on the stage, and I have to talk to you about this outfit. This is the description of an outfit for a dress rehearsal for a performance in the year 2020 of our Lord Jesus Christ. Her dress is a shocking pink neon, cinched in the middle with a bedazzled silver corset. A black ribbon choker with diamonds spelling out summer is around her neck. It's almost identical to the one I'm wearing, which spells out heat. Jessica, I get that part of the narrative you spun for Rachel is that Rachel is a fashionista, and since Rachel is an avatar for you, you're basically trying to insert your style into this character. But you really have no clue about what stage performance outfits look like in the year 2020. No one is going out on the stage in a bedazzled corset over a neon pink dress. I mean, maybe your Cardi B's and your Meg the Stallions, but in K-pop, that's not even close to the look for stage performances. Don't know why. And apparently Rachel's got on a pair of white suede go-go boots.
Okay, y'all mixing like 70s with...
So, yeah. There's like 26 chapters. So anyway, they get on the stage and they're performing and everything's... Oh, almost forgot this part because Rachel is a bitch. We fucking hate her. Akira goes up to Rachel and was like, Rachel, I'm so excited for you. This is the big day. Isn't it wonderful? Then here, this happens. Sorry to break up this little love fest, Mina interrupts, stepping in between us, but Rachel has to go now. She looks at Akira and gives a little sneer. Some of us have futures as K-pop stars to worry about. Not that you would know. She glances at me, turns her back on Akira completely. Jason's about to start the fireworks, she says, and walks towards her entrance spot on the stage on right. Akari, I don't know why I called her Akira, her name's Akari. Akari is still there, staring open-mouthed at Mina's retreating figure, her eyes lighting up with anger. I feel like it's been weeks since I've seen or even talked to Akari, and all I wanted to do is stay with her and talk shit about Mina, but I hear the opening notes for the song. I have to go, I say with an apologetic smile as I run towards my entrance spot. I cast a quick glance back and see Akari's smile wilt just a bit as she makes her way into the audience. Akari is your homegirl. Like, she really is. Akari is the one who helped you convince Yujin to help you make a viral video. Akari has had your back this whole time. And instead of what you could have done that would have totally smoothed things over with Akari in that moment, after Mina was totally dismissive of her, you could say, don't worry about that bitch. I'm going to go break a leg. That's all you had to do. You didn't have to be like, sorry, I have to go. She would have understood you had to go. She heard the fucking music playing. She's a performer. You're both trainees. She would have got that. You could have been like, just ignore that bitch. She's nervous. I'm going to check you later, girl. And then get on the stage. That's all you got to do. That's all you had to do. And you couldn't even muster that up. And then you acknowledge that it's probably been weeks since you talked to this girl. The last interaction y'all had in the book is you watching her get her ass handed to her by a trainer. You're not a friend. You're a terrible fucking friend. And you see her smile drop. It fucking sucks. So anyway, they get on the stage, they have their performance, and the performance goes great. And afterwards, Rachel's like, we should go get Bingsu together. No, Rachel, what you need to go is find Akari out in the audience who, while you're performing, is cheering for you. Who is out in the audience fucking, woohoo, go Rachel! For you, in the audience, after you totally let somebody else one-up her backstage. That's who you need to be going to meet after your performance. But no, she's like, Mina, let's go get Bingsu. Well, it's a problem because as they're backstage congratulating themselves for pulling it off and making the changes they should, here comes Mr. No like, the fuck is that? How did I tell you to sing my motherfucking song? I told you to sing it do, re, mi, not so, la, ti. The fuck was that? And luckily, one of the other executives, Mr. Han, who was also Rachel's saving grace when they were about to dump her from DB Entertainment altogether, he pops up and he's like, that was awesome. That was great. Didn't they do a good job? Everything else, so wonderful. I'm a savior character. Bye. And so they jump off of Rachel, but they're still kind of like pissed off. Well, Rachel's going backstage to change her costume, or out of her costume, I should say. And when she comes back, she hears, like,
You're a disgrace to our family. For 1,000 years, there have been nothing but perfect people, and you, who are born on the unluckiest day of the unluckiest month of the unluckiest year, have ruined our family with your disgraceful behavior. One more mistake from you, and you are no longer my daughter.
And it's Mina's father talking to her. And Rachel overhears this, and instead of like just fucking walking away, maybe chilling out in the dressing room, waiting for Mina to kind of like fix her face, pick her jaw up off the floor, here comes Rachel, who totally doesn't understand the tone of the room, like, hey girl, are you all... Shut the fuck up! You're not better than me. Don't ever think you're better than me. And you better not tell this to anybody. Do you think I want to go get fucking Bingso with you? This is not a Disney movie, Rachel. Get your head out of your ass. We're not friends. That's Mina's response. Now, Mina is low-key one of my favorite characters in this book. So it pains me that Mina's had this reaction because Rachel was genuinely trying to be friendly with you. But I also can't help but be invested in Mina's story. Mina's father, Mr. Cho, there is a suggestion in chapter 12 that Mr. Cho has more authority at DB than we thought. And if Mr. Cho has the kind of authority we think he has at DB, Mina has got all the pressure in the world to succeed. Because she's like the child of the person in charge of the person in charge, if you know what I'm saying. And so for her dad to be like, you made a mess up, you've embarrassed me, I'll disown you if you embarrass me again. Could you imagine what kind of pressure that is? Not only that, but it's not like Mina's untalented. It would be different if Mina was simply a trainee because of nepotism. If she was just there because her dad's in charge. No, Mina is obviously a more qualified dancer than Rachel is, which again, chapter 1, you are the best singer and the best dancing trainee we have. Really, Rachel? Really, Rachel? But anyway, Mina apparently is a much better dancer than Rachel. She's working her ass off. She's at the trainee house like every other trainee is. She's doing trainee hours at the studio, at the entertainment offices, every chance she gets. Mina is giving it her all. Not only that, but Mina identified that there was a weakness in both of their performances. She figured out a way to fix their weaknesses, and she swallowed her own pride to approach Rachel and be like, listen, I know I've done some shitty stuff in the past, but I'm willing to do something that's going to fix this for the both of us and give us the best chance for success instead of us getting out there and embarrassing ourselves by my voice cracking and you tripping. So what do you say? Mina's done all of this. Now, Mina is fucking dead ass wrong for drugging Rachel. That's unforgivable. And if nobody ever wants to like Mina again or trust Mina again, that makes a lot of sense because you can't trust somebody who'll drug you, honestly. But Mina has been under an intense amount of pressure, and all she wants is to prove her father right. That's all she really wants. Yeah, she wants to debut, and she may want the success for herself, but more than anything, I think she wants to live up to this idea that her father has of her being perfect. And that's what she's trying to do. And at every fucking turn, here comes Rachel, who apparently has a loving family who calls to check up on her while she's in training, even though people aren't supposed to have their phones and parents don't normally call. Rachel, who doesn't show up to the building every single fucking day to train. Rachel, who only trains on the weekend. Rachel, who seems like every fucking burp she lets out of her mouth, Mr. No's like, oh my God, was that Harmony? So yeah, Mina's fucking pissed, and I don't blame her. I don't know. I hate that Mina like totally flipped out on Rachel, but at the same time, that was a really sensitive moment. If you just had your parents say that they're going to disown you, and a person that you like the least that has everything that you've never had is like, are you okay? It's hard to take that as like, you have a genuine interest in me, and it's much easier to be like, you're fucking making fun of me, aren't you? Because your parents would never say this shit to you. Fuck you, Rachel. So anyway, the next chapter, Rachel apparently is not only great with last-minute saviors, because she's been saved by Mina, she's been saved by Mr. Han, she's been saved by Jason, she's been saved by Akari, she's been saved by Eugen. She's just been saved by everybody. But she also apparently is a secret genius because even though her botany grade wasn't wonderful before, she happened to get a big enough score in her botany class to get the 90% that it took to qualify to go on the class field trip to Jeju Island. And this chapter in Jeju Island was actually a pretty good chapter to me because this is a chapter where we get a couple of little like historical or specifically Korean touch points. Like they talk about eating halabong, which is a type of tangerine orange fruit that they grow in Jeju that apparently is like super delicious. And they talk about meeting Hanyo divers, which are these old ladies who go out into like the shores along Jeju. There's these farms where they farm sea urchin and clams and really tasty seaweed. And these old ladies go out every day and they harvest sea life and sell it in the open market. And so they interviewed these old ladies because they're like in their 70s and 80s, like they're super old. And Rachel was like, apparently very touched by their story about how, it's our strength as a woman to do this. We're showing our strength because we still do this. And then after that, she's texting back and forth with Jason, flirting, questioning whether or not she should be flirting with this guy. And her and the twins go to this 5-star hotel that apparently the school booked for the field trip because of that super expensive school. Also, there's a little bit of drama between the twins. Not big drama, but one twin has a crush on this super nerd, and the nerd has a crush on the other twin. So, stupid love triangle. They're sisters. They could talk. Anyway, so they're in the restaurant of this 5-star hotel eating from the buffet, and in the table next to them is this beautiful girl who's got no makeup on, just a pair of sunglasses, and this guy with like a short buzz cut is sitting at the table with her, and they're eating and having a romantic date, but it's not so romantic. There's an argument going on. Loud hushed whispers. What do you expect me to do? I just want you to be real with yourself. This K-pop life is the only thing I've ever known. I can't give it up, and I can't disappoint the fans like this. Electric Flower means everything to me. Does it mean more than yourself, honey? Does it really mean more than your own life? She overhears this conversation because apparently K-pop idols who have been idols for years at a time don't have the discretion it takes to not have arguments in public. So anyway, she recognizes that the girl having the argument is one of the members of Electric Flower, which is this like legendary group at DB Entertainment. And as the girl and the guy are finishing their meal and they're walking out of the restaurant, the girl sees Rachel sitting at the table, goes to the table and goes, Rachel Kim? I'm Kang Jin-ah from DB, from Electric Flower. I just wanted to stop by and tell you, your viral video, genius move. Being at DB is really rough. Can I give you a word of advice? Don't fall in love. It can be dangerous. And then her boyfriend's like, come on, honey. And the twins are at the table with Rachel. And they're like, oh my God, we just met Kang Jin-ah or whatever from Electric Flower. Yeah, Kang Jin-ah from Electric Flower. And the other one's like, but did you see who she was with? She was with Song Gyu-min, which I've never heard Gyu-min before, but cool. Song Gyu-min from this other super popular group. And apparently she's dating another idol. So again, because we have to be right on the nose, we have to have an example or foreshadowing of a potential argument that Rachel and Jason will probably have somewhere in the future. So anyway, Jason's texting her and he's like, hey girl, I haven't talked to you for like 3 hours. What the fuck are you doing? And she's like, I'm being on a field trip. Ha 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 ha. Eating oranges. Ha 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 ha. Having fun. Ha ha ha. But no, really, I'm kind of stressed out right now. And he's like, you know what we should do? We should do that thing that Americans are doing. Let's have a self-help day. And a self-care day, sorry. A self-care day. A self-care day? What's that? You should know. All the Americans are doing it. But anyway, we should have a self-care day. You and me. Oh my God, that sounds like a date. I don't think so, Jason. I tell you what, how about if we invite your sister Leah? Would that make it better? Now listen, I don't know what other people consider self-care to be, but when I think of self-care, I think of by my damn self. Not with you potential boyfriend, not with my little sister, with my damn self. But Rachel, feeling guilty that she feels like she's been ignoring her sister and that her sister would be so mad if she missed an opportunity to spend a day with Jason, she decides, what's gonna hurt to go on one measly self-care date with Jason and my sister? And that's the end of chapter 12. I've already given you my rant as to why Mina is far superior to Rachel. I'm not going to go into it anymore other than to say, man, fuck Rachel all day, every day. I am disappointed that you would be so on the nose as a writer as to kind of like have the entire argument between Rachel and Jason play out in another set of characters well in advance. I'm also actually fairly disappointed that somebody who's as big a star as Kang Jin-ah is and as big a star as Song Gyu-min are, that they would be in the middle of a restaurant arguing when the key here is to try to keep as low a profile as possible. If having a boyfriend when you're an idol is dangerous, why would you be in public like that? Because I imagine that any one of the kids who went on this field trip who were also in the restaurant at the time, any one of them would have recognized who Kang Jin-ah and who this other guy are. Especially him, because he didn't even have on sunglasses. At least she was barefaced. So, like, again, what makes you think that no one would recognize y'all? Not only that, but like, Kang Jin-ah got recognized before she even like went to the table because she had like these super fancy ass nails that one of the twins was like, oh my gosh, those are Sam nails. Those are special. You have to have a special reservation to get those nails. So somebody's already recognizing your fancy nails, your beautiful skin, your designer glasses, your super straight and gorgeous ponytail. He's probably super fucking handsome as well. People recognize y'all. Why wouldn't y'all, if you're at this 5-star hotel, I mean, maybe this sounds a little forward to some people, but why wouldn't you rent a hotel room and have room service? I feel like that's reasonable. If you can afford to be at a 5-star hotel enjoying life, why not just rent the fucking room and have room service? And, you know, do a little making out, have your argument behind closed doors, have some fun. But don't do this. Don't do this unless you're ready to get caught. And it sounds like Kang Jin-ah is not quite ready to get caught because the argument sounds like she still wants to re-sign with the company. He's trying to urge her not to re-sign to the company. But also, it's rumored that him and his group are getting ready to record an American album. So he's telling her she needs to let go of her career. Meanwhile, he and his group are fixing to shoot for the stars. And it seems extremely unfair. It seems extremely backwards. It seems very much one-sided. So, anyway, that is the end of chapter 12. I don't know what's going to be in chapter 13 and 14. I gave a whole bunch of predictions in my last video, and Abdi came through and was like, yeah, none of that's going to happen. You're wrong. Which just totally breaks my heart because I need something. I need this story to become something. I don't need a lot. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm asking for like direction, number one. Number two, consistency. I think that is very important. Some of the characters are not consistent. Some of the behaviors are not consistent. Some of the information we're told about people doesn't seem to be what they're actually showing us. So that would be helpful. But more than anything, I would really appreciate it if you'd give me a reason to like Rachel. She gets this advice from this person who's living the life that she wants to live one day. And immediately afterwards is given a test to see if she'll take that advice. And she doesn't do it. Like, she kind of like, no, I don't think I'll do self-care. What if you take your sister? Okay, then. No. You could have just as easily, like, you know what my sister would really enjoy? Maybe you and my sister could hang out. I mean, it's kind of creepy, but you can come by my house and eat lunch, but you and me hanging out, having a date's not going to happen. Or, like, just get real with Jason and just be like, Jason, what are we doing here? I mean, I get that you're charming as shit, but really, what are we doing here? Are you trying to date me? Are you interested in me? Because I can tell you now, I can't do this. I can't date you. I'm a trainee. I've invested a whole bunch of my time and my years for the chance to debut. You have no problem walking up to Mr. No and having private conversations with him, unguarded and easy and everything else. I don't have that chance. You saw how he blew up on us when we changed the choreography and we changed the singing performance. I don't have it like you have. I have to work extremely hard to get to where you are, and even then, I'm still going to have to work hard to stay there. And I'm not willing to throw away these years of training on what could be a romance when you're not even in a position to give up your life to be my man. So, you know, I like you, you like me. Come hit me up in another 7 years and we'll see what's happening. But I can't do this right now. But I don't know. I have a feeling, because this is Jessica we're talking about here, I have a feeling that she's going to leave the company so that she can pursue a life and a love affair with fucking Jason. And if she does, I will gag, because fuck that. Fuck that all the way. Fuck that all the way. I did like the part about the Hanyo divers. That was cute. I would have liked to hear more about like some regional food from Jeju Island since you're there. Also, the way that she uses Korean, it still bothers me. She still references things and doesn't put any italics to express what it means. Like when she describes Kang Jina's bare face, she calls it sangyul, and no definition for it. And sangyul is like, it's a slang term. So yeah, it would have been nice if maybe she could have put asterisks and footnotes, or like in the back of the book be like Korean terms for the dummies who don't get what these things mean. You know, she has a whole conversation with an old lady in Korean and there is no translation for that. But again, this book is not written in Korean. It was marketed to an international, mostly English-speaking market. Why wouldn't you put no fucking footnotes? Why wouldn't you put translation notes? That makes no sense. Who is your fucking editor? And why are they so fucking lazy? Like, seriously, why are they so fucking lazy? I digress. But anyway, actually, you know what? One more point. The reason why her editor didn't bother to translate those things is because Simon & Schuster and her editor knew the only people buying this fucking book are fans of Jessica Jung. Nobody who's not familiar with SNSD is going to buy this book and read this book because they don't give a damn. It is just us old second generation hags who are buying this shit and wanting to read this shit. And Jessica, I don't know if you know this, that's a horrible sign for you. It means that if you come up with new storylines that have nothing to do with K-pop, don't nobody want to read that shit from you. All they want from you is the deets, the haps of the behind the scenes of K-pop. That's all they want from you. So if you think you're a writer now, you might want to reconsider. Because if they really thought you had a career in writing, young adult, doing book series, really being taken seriously for your author talents instead of just being an international celebrity, your editor would have done better by you. They would have cleaned this shit up quick, fast, and in a hurry. They would have marked noticeable inconsistencies. They would have put footnotes for translations. There's a lot of shit they would have done that would have been better what they've done here. So I don't think they really care for you either, girl. Sorry. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Sky Sapphire, for always being a part of the live chat. I realize that my time for filming these things is extremely inconsistent. So the fact that you managed to catch it every time, I'm super duper impressed. But thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.